I'm Lone, and welcome to the final episode of Darkwood Hardmode mod. I think I've got everything prepared, and this most definitely will be the final episode. We did it. We made it. Well, we've got one more challenge to get through, but, and that's in the radio tower. There's a dream sequence. I made an extra lantern, and I didn't need to, but that's okay. I do need to make one. I'll make a couple of Molotov cocktails before we leave for the radio tower. You know what? Let's just make all three. And we'll keep them on our HB. But we need to get out of here. Frankenfurt, dude. I know you're shy. You don't want to look at me. But it's been real. This mod, this experience has been crazy. I love it. Mwah. Look after the place for me, will ya? One final drink from the well. Let's get going. Lucky centipede sighting? I don't think so. I hope you escape as well, Mr. Centipede. Although, I don't know. I don't know if the greater society outside of Darkwood would take too kindly to a gigantic hermit-esque centipede man. That might be kind of a hard sell. Too bad about the musician, too. Usually if you do things right, you can kind of get him to go free, but doesn't. I mean, maybe it's the case. Maybe we did do things right, and he's actually free. We'll see after, during the credits. So yeah, we're at the radio tower. We haven't been to this location at all, so we just kind of identified it earlier when we were looking at holes. But yeah, there's going to be, as you can see, there's a bunch of nests. So there's going to be a lot of banshee babies. The fence has been torn to shreds. Probably don't need these things, but I'll take them with us anyway. I think we got everything we need. Yeah, banshees. Banshees are going to be everywhere. Yeah, so they had their own radio tower and station. It's probably publicly funded. Didn't look private. They're sleeping, but any noise can wake them up. Just get you a better look at the fallen radio tower. Yeah, there's the top of it. I'm gonna miss this mod. I don't know. I've been toying around with the idea, not for, oh, hey, look here, before we talk about that, look who it is. It's the snail. I don't know if you can get in there. Can you? Because I see something glowing in there, but it looks like a bunch of nests. I think that's the same snail. I'm not sure, though. I mean, I don't know any other gigantic, 20-meter long snails. So, it's probably him. But yeah, I was thinking about playing through hard mode mod, legitimately, instead of... Because we've been cheating, so... We were cheating lives. But I kind of had to, in order to keep the series going. Otherwise, we had to restart over and over again. Yeah, that is him. Damn. Looks like, I think he was... Yeah, they're sleeping off a big meal. Oh, banshee, huh? Wow, they'll sleep through anything. Holy shit. I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, we're definitely going in there. I want to see if there's anything, there's a shining stone in there for sure, but I want to see if there's anything else. Maybe there is no shining stone. I thought I saw one. Yeah, they literally ate all the way into him. I'll leave it. We don't need it. It's interesting. I don't think I've ever been in there before. Poor guy. Alright, so the main building, the radio tower, I think there's a lot of equipment in here. We don't need rags. Oh, hopefully nobody heard that. Here, don't open all the way, please. Thank you. Yeah, I think this is like the broadcasting booth, most likely. Oh, I didn't think that they can open doors. Oh, no. They're awake now. Oh, hi there. Oh, that's an interesting detail I never saw before either, is when you hit them, the skulls shatter. It's pretty interesting. Shovel's looking a little beat up, man. Hey, here we go. Journal from the radio tower. We haven't slept again. Another madman came here at night. It's the second one this month. He jumped over the fence and tried to ram the door with his head. I shot him with my tranquilizer. Today we're going to move him outside. Since that tree appeared in the village, an increasing number of savages roam around the hideout. How do they know about us? God, they're psychos. They can barely talk. The villagers in the sector still have no clue what's going on. It's been 10 years or so. But when they lose it, all they need to do is go into the woods, put some mud on their face, and they come sniffing. Stefan told me that in the neighboring sectors, the wild ones appear mainly in the vicinity of the hideout location near the tunnel entrance. I don't think it's a coincidence. Interesting. So yeah, the adornment of like the mud and sticks kind of is a rite of passage to giving your will over to the being and then becoming part of that whole collective consciousness that often everything ties back to with all of these every single creature. So they kind of hone in. They have like a universal perception of the entire area. So, given that the being's root system goes deep and into every living thing, makes sense that they would know where everything is and where everyone is. Probably going to be a compressor in here. Oh, there's an old cassette. Yeah, we'll take that. Here, we can eat that real quick too. Wish I had. Oh man, I would love to know what's on this. It's probably just like old radio station stuff, but oh man, wish I could listen to this. That'd be awesome. So yeah, it sounds like the one of Meat's crew was, you know, one of the people who were talking there. So Frankenfurt? Was he inside? I think he was inside in the corner, right? 'Cause we're not going to be able to pass through until we look at him. Yeah, there he is. There we go. This one's interesting. I'm not going to go after the mushroom in there. But you see, like, it looks like the banshee's weeping over one of the dead babies. Still not exactly sure what their origins are. Or what they are, necessarily. This looks like a fenced off area. There we go. Another one of them banging their heads on the door like we read. And then piled up bodies. So looks like they were forced to kind of hunker down and shelter. Oops. God, they're so fast, man. Super fast. Probably shouldn't have used the shotgun. But yeah, I don't know if there's anything that we can actually look at. I don't know if there's any journal entries on these people. Probably not on these guys. But there may be inside that we'll be able to glean a little bit more of the situation that happened here. But there's a lot of bodies here, obviously. There's tons of bodies. Oh, hey. Somebody moved the crate. Interesting. That doesn't happen, usually. Yeah, usually that's like locked in there. Maybe a guy from another side came through this way when they heard the shotgun blast. That'd kind of be my guess, my best guess. Yeah, I don't think there's anybody in here. Let me know the code, Meat. Meat. Oh no. What happened? He's supposed to tell you the code, like he remembers it. Okay, there it is. I think I remember the code to this door. It's 8684. Alright, I got a little worried there for a second. A civilian radio overgrown with roots. Underground entrance. Alright. Let's go underground. Journal from the radio tower. This is the last entry from the 12th of April, 1987. 22:15 hours. 2 people came via the tunnel from the hideout near the village, 3C. They were attacked. Okay, 2 people. This probably is the man that we talked to in the Tunnel 21. So, from Village 3C. Yeah, that's probably who that is. So, he's talking about the dry meadow, I believe. There were two people with gunshot wounds. So, and then we talked to a man who actually pulled one of the bullets out of his head. So, that's what I believe. Again, it looks like it was part of Meat's crew, because this, seems like a accounting or reporting of military activity. 2310 hours. The hideout near the Village 3C has been compromised. At least 12 locals have entered the hideout cellar, mostly mud-covered savages. 3 amongst them were wearing unusual clothing, weird rags. We lost 1 man. The door in the tunnels has been shut. None of them, 1 man, that's Meat. None of the locals managed to break through further. We're getting ready for evac. 1:30 hours. Evac is successful, so his guys made it out. At least, the other ones. Not him, though. The door was locked with a code. We're going home. Well, at least a few of them got out, so that's good. This may be a one-way road. Rest of the tunnel is blocked by enormous roots and rubble. Only one chance. Let's take a look at the journal entry. I found a floodgate in the tunnel. I only have one chance of getting through here. I think it'll lead me to the right place. Alright. I'm ready. It seems like some sort of airlock system or something. Obviously there's no vacuum here, but... Metal lever. Metal lever is covered in some kind of fungus. I can't use it now. I need to find a way to get rid of the parasite first. Door seems to be blocked from the other side. Thanks for the meat. Oh yeah, I'm well aware you only have one chance. So it looks like we entered the dream sequence. We don't have access to our skills and all of our inventory items are gone. So we're going to have to contend with that. No light either. And the way back, inaccessible. Oh, is there another way to the right? I don't think so. It's probably just a metal door. Yeah, blocked from the other side. I can hear someone calling incomprehensibly from the depths of the corridor. Come. Come to me. The words "come to me" have been scratched into the ground. We've had dreams before where we follow shining stones. Sometimes they'll lead you to trouble, but they do keep you on the right path. There we go. I was getting a little bit worried. Back in the doctor's house. An entry to a small cellar, maybe a pantry? A metal table with leather belts strapped on. That's definitely us. That is definitely me, for sure. pretty wild dream. Crazy being, like, somewhat ending the game where you started it in the doctor's house and bringing everything all the way around again. Luckily, we got a new shovel, so that's good. But, yeah. All the dangerous, worst parts are behind us now. Well, that isn't true, but somewhat true. Guess that one had nothing to say. So the only other way out of the forest. Yeah. Back at another Bunker 21. It seems like maybe 21 is like a main line that connects all of the underground passages. I'm not sure what's up with all of the underground passages and why they're there. Maybe it's a relic of the war. It's possible. Like bomb shelters or something, because there's a lot of connections in underground hideouts and stuff. So, or there's entrances to the underground from just like random buildings, which is kind of interesting. It's weird not having any trees around too. You just get so used to this claustrophobic feeling that once you're out in the open, it's almost even more surreal. Like, you could see the whole screen from one side to the other. I mean, there are trees, but they're not, like, stifling. Note about the bundle of roots. The roots have made it impossible to dig any farther. Specialist tools will be needed to go deeper. Observations. The roots of individual trees intertwine to create bundles, or braids, with a thickness of 120 centimeters. The ones we analyzed always grow towards the northeast. So, east being, if we're looking at our map, I think the cardinal directions are literally like north, south, east, west. So, northeast kind of makes sense. So, it's saying that whatever the source is, it's over to our right. Towards the northeast. Taking into account the results from the dig sites from other regions, we can assume that the bundles came together in Sector 0. We have accumulated about 5 liters of the substance that flows through the roots, so the viscous, like off-whitish goo that's in there. As expected, it's lost its shape-shifting abilities after being disconnected from the roots, from the stem to be exact. So, yes. Replicas, basically, like animated, I mean, like mushroom gland, animated goo, for sure. The trader's kind of interesting because we saw his body and around him is blood, so I still don't know whether he's like the actual trader or not. Yeah, I am not sure. But hopefully I'll get more information when I read up on everything. Ah, the oven. The oven is lit again. Guess that's just the savior game. So yeah, if you head west, just the densest trees. It's kind of interesting that the being is actually to our east, but it lays down a root system and then grows around like population centers, it seems like. Yeah, let's see, there's the braids they were talking about. So, but it's all coming from this way and headed west. Usually when you think of something like parasite or something like protecting itself or cutting off an area, it would be at the central part of it, and it would grow around it like in a circle or whatever, sort of like a perimeter. But this being kind of is outside of the bounds that it created. Scarecrow. Yeah, the helmet looks familiar. Not necessarily tied to the trader. It's probably just the gear that they wore for the team. I guess somebody repurposed it for their fields. I especially love this track too at the end of the game. It's so melancholy. Some weird ass trees, but you can see growths of like people, yeah, bodies intertwined in it. Oh, a ragged rope with traces of dried blood and pieces of hazard suit stuck to it. So one of the team members were tied to this tree, but escaped. I think that's, and then they ditched their suit further down, and then somebody just repurposed it for a scarecrow. Kind of seems like that might be what it's trying to tell us. I don't think we got any new journal entries. Yeah. Hey, thanks for the pills. Might as well eat this before it goes bad. Well, I guess time's frozen, so it doesn't really matter. I see a boot right there too. Yeah, rubber boot from a hazard suit. I don't know though, it could be that this is where they extracted to. Yeah, and then they're just kind of getting rid of their... Huh. I don't know, maybe the trader... Maybe they tied up the trader or something because they didn't want to kill him, but he was like somewhat losing his shit or infected. These are just theories. I don't really have any facts to back this up. And then he went back in. That's a possibility. But it looks like they were stripping themselves of their hazard suits as they were leaving the area. Yeah. Damaged shortwave radio. Useless damaged handheld radio. So one of them didn't make it. Doesn't really give us any information though on going on here. Maybe there's a note in the backpack. It looks like somebody was camping out here. It kind of looks like the hazmat suit. Jar with a sample. There we go. Oh, okay. So this was like the like forward operating base for the area, probably. So yeah, one of the growths that we've seen so many times. Looks like they scraped it off of the tree, tagged it, and jarred it. And then it looks like they were taking like core samples possibly of the trees as well. As you can see, these ones are labeled and laid out. They were trying. They were trying to figure this shit out. And it's understandable that they... I still wish that they would have, like... They could have airdropped shit in for the people, man. And made it less miserable for them, though. I really don't know why they didn't do that. Unless they felt it was too dangerous to even go overhead. I mean, obviously it was, because the helicopter crashed. Maybe they were giving them aid for a little bit. And then, once that helicopter crashed, they were like, nope. No more, man. We're not losing more people for this. Like, we have no clue what it is. It's fucking alien. Yeah. It's too much. Just too much. Just throwing so many items at you. It's kind of like, I don't know, I take that as, like, you're scavenging so hard, and, like, every little tiny resource meant so much to you, right? Like, finding the assault rifle for the first time, stuff like that. You're like, holy shit. And then you come out here, not an enemy in sight, no threat whatsoever. You know, sure, there's corpses and stuff, but whatever. And here's an AK. Here's 3 shovels. Here's an axe head, you know? Here's a military flashlight. All those things that you valued just don't mean shit out here. Like, they're just common items. So yeah, they're just normal stuff, man. But in the moment, and in, like, when you're in great need of things like that, it means a lot when you have it. Another oven. It's destroyed. Jar with a protective substance lies shattered on the ground. So they were even using the protective properties of the mushrooms to keep themselves safe as well. So yeah, because I mean, there's a savage out there, so they were under attack for sure. Note about the wall of trees. This structure resembles a honeycomb. The surface of the particular cells varies from 80 to as many as 360 square kilometers. The cells gradually divide into smaller ones. It can be assumed that with time, the forest will achieve a homogeneous form. The trees grow with remarkable regularity, forming walls with the average thickness of 50 meters. So 50-meter walls, and then it starts going in a honeycomb shape, so kind of like building a hive around different sectors. So, and that had them divide the area into small sectors and label them, as we've seen in previous notes. The distance between trunks are never higher than 10 centimeters. According to preliminary analysis, only 15% of the total volume consists of actual trees, although this figure is hard to verify. So it's using it's using kind of filler in order to kind of exasperate the growth of the trees. Don't really know what the gooey substance is, but I'll plate it with half-eaten moldy sandwich on it. Oh, that's a body somewhere. Can't quite tell if that's a body. Looks like they were doing some kind of testing on the root system. Yeah, I'm not sure. Here, since we need a light, which we have. Yeah, they definitely were. There's some sensors on there, probably trying to see if there's any kind of like communications, because we know, you know, people receiving signals and hearing voices and stuff. That would be a logical conclusion to come to. That it's like transmitting some sort of discernible radio frequency or something. Or maybe testing for like ultra low frequency. Oh, wow. I didn't realize how thick that... Oh, Jesus Christ. That's amazing. All of it, all of the being's senses and everything transmitted through here. A colorless goo seeps from the cracks in the asphalt. Hey, guess where we are? Right here. The road home. Looks like perhaps it closed back up. Because I think the burning the tree, you walk past it and it gives you access to the road home. There's the boys. Yeah. Jeez, I'm really sorry, you guys. The three are staring at the tree. They pay no attention to me. Yeah. I didn't have to burn the tree. I feel bad. So yeah, that's the village right there. So we're just on the opposite side of the talking tree. In the shadow, I notice a pulsating vastness of the gigantic tree trunk. In the distance, above the roots, I can see the destroyed roofs of the flooded village. The area is shrouded in almost complete silence. You've spared us. A voice coming from between the dark bows, but I can't see its owner. This road will lead you home. Nothing will stand in your way anymore. So that's interesting, because usually how you wouldn't do both the radio tower and then also burn the tree and go through. But we did burn the tree, so we got all those interactions, but we didn't cross the barrier that would get you to the epilogue of the game. Instead, we went to the radio tower and completed it that way. So the tree is burned, but it is also thanking us for sparing it, which it wouldn't be if had I walked past the barrier. So it's kind of interesting. So we both, it's kind of like Schrodinger's cat, right? We both destroyed and killed the tree and also saved it. So yeah, it's kind of funny. I'm glad we were able to do both. Kind of wanted to see if there was anything else up to the right. Yeah, I think it's blocked off here. Yeah, another sample or cross section of the root system. And then just trees. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's hit the road. Crossed out sign that reads Darkwood. Oh man. If I had a Darkwood, welcome to Darkwood sign, I'd hang that shit on my wall. It'd be so awesome. So it looks like, yeah, some people tried to get out, but kind of my interpretation of this is that these are the animated, like, goo people, for lack of a better word. And it looks like they disconnected from the root system. I don't know if that's correct or not, but it's kind of how I read it, but I'm not sure. Or it's the people from the burned tree, perhaps? kind of seems like a more normal growth. In the notes, they were talking about how close together the trees were growing, and this seems more natural here. Civilization. Oops, sorry, crows. And they're gone. Sorry, bro. I know. Who's gonna eat all the bread now? I only eat mushrooms, so it's not gonna be me. So first introduction to a normal person, and it's just a normal interaction. Kind of hear some frightening sounds, though. I love how this city's structured, too. It looks very walkable. This might be our first glimpse of maybe something going wrong here, because, yeah, every block looks kind of the same, right? Kind of seem like it's repeating. Floric spotted. Oh, the person's gone too. Haven't really explored down here before. It's kind of hard with no light, right? I don't think... Oh, there's a jars. Canned jars. A jar of jam. Desmic. Interesting. Just potatoes. I think we're supposed to be able to see in here. Oh, radio. Sleep. Uh-oh. I think I broke it. Or I think the game broke. Okay. I'm gonna try to get out of here. We'll see. Yeah, so unfortunately, we won't be able to investigate down there. Well, it's probably a case of the mod not handling lighting in the epilogue for some reason. My first floor neighbor. So we're just back here. Good day to you. Good day to you too. So yeah, I really wish I could go examine everything down here, but yeah, the lighting's not working properly. This is my staircase. There's a bike that's been here since I first moved in. It's weird that no one's ever tried to steal it. Elevator doesn't work, as always. Oh man, looks like none of the lighting's working in here. Hopefully we'll be able to get through the epilogue. Scribbles. It's probably the work of that little punk from the 3rd floor. Kind of seems like Meat is friendly with his neighbors and stuff. Boss, got any spare change? You know what? That's actually really interesting. The bicycle man, the guy who moves your inventory for you, also calls you boss. And he drinks. You give him alcohol and he does, he does the moving for you. It's probably him. So, it's so hard to tell if, any of this is real or not. I mean, it seems like the being is real, but... Oh, you're waking my kid. What? What is that? Your kid? Is it... Jesus Christ. I've never seen that before. Huh. Stupid cow. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, it looks like something lit up over there for a second. Not sure what it is. I keep getting worried that the lights are all going to go out. I'm not going to be able to see anything. Pleased to see you, mister. Haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you too, man. No, they're still green, even though I've never seen anyone tend to them. Maybe they feed them on discarded cigarette butts. Apparently someone was too lazy to bring it down the stairs to throw it in the trash. It's probably the work of the kids, yeah. Yeah, obviously things aren't looking right. It's probably not how this place actually looks. Neighbor's bike, he could do something with it. It's been lying in the middle of the corridor ever since he broke the kickstand. Home sweet home. It's my wardrobe. Man, he looks normal. Hey, buddy. I love that. Did you miss me? Good boy. He jumps at you, and it's a visceral reaction because you've been trained by the game. Like, beaten into you. That dog, bad. But he has a pet, and it lunges at you because he loves you. He's happy to see you. So it's such a weird visceral moment that always gets me. You know, because you've like trained your mind to to be like afraid, you know. Bedroom key. Bunch of fabric. You can kind of see something not right about the furniture. Very tired. I'd prefer to lay down in my regular bed. Okay, buddy. We gotta pet the pet one more time. Good boy. But yeah, let's see what's going on with under the furniture. These roots are growing from out under the floor panels. I won't be able to tear up the flooring with my bare hands. I should find some tools in the kitchen. Okay. We can go do that. We know where the kitchen is. That's the bathroom. Barely standing on my feet. I'll take a bath tomorrow. There's a note. I made you some soup. Heat it up. There's the oven. There's still some soup in the pot. Let's turn it on. The smell fills the entire kitchen. Cook. I grab the largest dish from the cabinet under the sink and pour myself a bowl. It's not much, but it's enough. I don't remember the last time I've eaten a home dinner. There's the tool that we needed. Things don't look right outside either, do they? kind of envision Meat like so happy to be home and then frantically tearing up the floorboards of his house because there's a whole root system just under his feet. It's my bed. The white crumpled sheets look as if I've just woken up, at last. I feel my sore legs buckling underneath me, my body becoming heavy and overwhelmingly lethargic. It was a grueling journey, 43 days of human torment. Look closer. Fighting off sleepiness with difficulty, I lean over the bed. The springs creak noisily under the weight of my hand. As I cast my glance on the light brown construction of the plywood, I notice the familiar features. They are elongated and arced. I can still smell the fresh sheets and the pleasant warmth of the quilt. Look under the bed. I feel a gentle draught coming from the dark gap between the bed and the floor. My fingertips brush a thin layer of dust. Coldness, moisture. I'm touching something rough, but my arm's too short to catch it. I think I need to move the bed. And the man's fast asleep. He's smiling and hugging his knees with skinny, dirty arms. A swarm of flies is covering a black sore on his back. Well, it's my hat. And my coat. It's torn and covered with dry mud. So yeah, we were asleep. I mean, I've done this ending before, but I don't believe that there was a hole in his apartment. Like, maybe in his head? Or maybe he was a copy and he fought the urge, even though he's part of the being. He fought the urge and, like, returned to where his body originally is. I suppose that's a theory, too. My trousers are completely destroyed. It's a meter-wide tunnel covered with a slimy membrane. Further inside, I can see pulsating growths blocking the way ahead. I won't be able to pass through this way. Steep slope blocks the way ahead. There's some tunnels at its base. But yeah, stripped off all of his clothing. And there's others here. Dirty, clumped hair over the woman's face. She's murmuring in her sleep, clutching a rag doll filled with straw. Now the moon is faded. The night is here. The sleep stole over my doll, so close. Your eyes. I'm at the bottom of a huge valley. I can feel the dry, dusty earth pulsating under my feet. Another sleeper. I hear faint whispers. My little Stasek. Sleep, Stasek, sleep. So they're skinny, emaciated, and they're just sleepy. You see the bodies under the overgrown root system. So it seems more of like a mental invasion than a physical one of the bodies. Oh, embracing the remains of a child. So it kind of lulls you in with this dream, I suppose. But it wasn't a very pleasant dream, you know? Not at all. I guess maybe it's up to the person what the dream a sleeper is going to be in. The figure's dead asleep. I'm unable to wake it. Can hear a radio that way. Oh, that goes deep. His face is covered in mud and sticks, and clutches shiny stone in its hand. Yeah, it seems like different people are in different kind of states. Yeah, swaying with rhythm and melody. Talking in his sleep, moving his hands, caressing someone with affection. Figure is speaking to someone in his sleep, squeezing an old man's photo in his hand. They're asleep. They seem happy, even though they're emaciated and dirty. Some of them lie dead. There's people everywhere. Huh. He's clothed. That's interesting. I wonder if that means anything. The earth is covered with thick bundles of dry roots that creak under my feet. Old broken trees are scattered across the landscape. A pleasant warmth washes over me. I'm standing in front of an enormous being. I feel an overwhelming, soothing feeling of security and happiness. The vast valley, at the bottom of which I stand, curves upwards, closing over my head. The rustle of distant trees turn into a single, silent murmur. I feel I'm coming home, to my flat, to my room, with a window and a bed. I feel a heat emanating from the being. I sense my pulse slowing down, a calmness. I want to rest, to come back home, to my bed. I want to lie down. I want to fall asleep. Withdraw your hand. I don't want to do it. Still, my hand pushes the being away. The warmth that was emanating from it disappears, replaced by a piercing coldness. Yeah, so this being wants us to sleep, does not want us awake. Which kind of makes sense. A person who's awake is kind of a threat, right? There he is. It's the doctor. He's fast asleep. The man mumbles in his sleep. He's emaciated and dirty, but his face is radiant and calm. He clutches a rusty object covered with old beads. Some weapon? The man's talking in his sleep. There's only snippets of sentences, single words, spoken gently and slowly. It's hard to find any meaning in them. Push the figure. Leave. Without opening his eyes, the man clumsily waves his hand at me, then covers his head with it and freezes. Try to take the metal item. Leave. The man waves his hand again. This time, he grabs my arm without opening his eyes. He turns his head towards me. I recognize him. He's one of us. Try to snatch the item from the man's hand. Leave! Can you fucking hear me? I won't let you take her. The man clenches his teeth with the fury of a maniac. Saliva flows from his mouth. It's hurting her. You'll tear her arms out. Hit the man and grab the item. Don't leave her. No! The being, recognizing a threat, a man with a flamethrower, actually was able to lull him to sleep and convince him that it was, probably his daughter. A great fire consumed the woods for many days, gradually claiming many of the inhabitants. The fire consumed the last road leading to the heart of the woods. The doctor, who did not wake up, even as the flames burned his flesh. The three outcasts, who were grief-stricken under the enormous, completely burned tree, didn't even try to run. The elephant family, who did not leave their barricaded house, even as the flames consumed it. The villagers, who, cut off from inside the old quarry, had no way of escape. The chicken lady, crushed by the roof while attempting to carry her sister out of the building. And the last living inhabitant of the flooded village, consumed by the flames at the very end of the road leading home. Oh no, we killed everybody. I mean, I knew that was going to happen, but not everyone perished. Yeah, musician got out alive. The musician hid in the old hut with a trapdoor leading to the underground tunnels. When the fire went out, the trapdoor opened up, and the boy left the woods. Piotrek did not live to see the fire. Before the flames appeared, he rose above the treetops in his rocket made of scrap. As he looked through the small spaceship window, he smiled for the last time. The Milky Way stars looked so beautiful, even now, when moving away at huge speed. Musician only run. Interesting. I think I've saved everybody before, I think. Well, as much as you can save them. There's a couple of them that, like Piotrek, I don't think you can actually get him to live. But oh man, this mod was so difficult. I'm glad we cheated. Always a treat to play through Darkwood though. Enjoy it. I'll probably play through it at least the full version one last time when I feel comfortable enough with the lore that I can actually like explain what's going on from an informed position. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the series. It was very fun doing. It took me a long time, but yeah, we got it done in the end, and that's good. Had a great time. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Lone, and this has been Darkwood Hardmode Mod.